Magic, bring the ruby.
All right, you want to go? Are we going?
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Long Island Wargaming's Under, Over, or Just Right, where Long Island Wargamers, Ryan, Kyle, Nick, Rich, Chris, are going to sit down and talk about the Arachnarok Spider, which we all have some strong opinions on. So let's just start off right off the bat. What does everyone think?
It's a really nice model.
It's a really cool
Agreed.
model.
I would never see it on the battlefield, though.
It's
Just good, nice for a shelf piece.
It's a really nice model. It's a pain to put together, but it's a really nice model.
Good paperweight. I like it.
It's a little overpriced.
Yeah,
Chris,
it's
overpriced?
It's
Rich?
a lot overpriced.
Kyle?
Overpriced.
Ryan?
Agreed.
I'm going to say it's just right.
What?
This guy thinks
This is
our
the
helmets
guy
are right
with the
price, but we
helmet.
can't credit him.
No.
It just came back alive.
Screw you, Rich.
No.
I always said the Hell Pit was underpriced.
No.
But you're comparing it to the Hell Pit. So if the Hell Pit's underpriced, I think this thing is just right for the 16 attacks it gets, the Thunderstop, and...
Half of which are at weapon skill 2.
Half of which are at weapon skill
Alright.
2. 8
Alright, you
of
know
its
what?
attacks are at weapon skill 2.
Alright,
At initiative 2 as well.
Let's back
so
up. Let's
whatever.
back up.
You know, I can't even credit.
Let's back up. Chris, go through what it's got.
Alright. The Arachnarok, movement 7, weapon skill 4, strength 5, toughness 6, 8 wounds, initiative 4, which
is insane.
is, yeah, for a monster.
For
I
a
guess.
monster.
8 attacks on itself, and then it comes with a Forest Goblin Howdah Crew, which has weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, initiative 2, 1 attack apiece, and
Yes, leadership
at
6.
leadership 6.
Leadership
I
6.
forgot it's
6
at leadership 6.
Horrendous.
Yeah, I forget the monsters. That
And
makes
I
it
mean-
even worse than I thought.
And
No
also,
hell pit.
no,
No.
I'm just saying strength
It's
5, and I'm
stubborn, though.
quoting somebody. Why would a monster have?
It's stubborn
less
in
than
leadership
strength
6. Why even
Why
have
would a
stubborn?
monster have less than strength 6?
Yeah.
Exactly. Strength 5. This thing has strength 5.
In the
Really?
Hell Pit video,
You
you
said-
claimed that monsters should have no less than strength 6.
Did I actually claim that?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
did.
did. Strength 5. Against any kind of elite infantry, this thing will not do that.
Yeah,
well.
but strength 5 is a great compromise for 8 attacks.
I don't think so.
No.
Alright, so you'd rather
Weapon
have,
skill 4.
so you'd rather have 5 attacks at strength 6 or 8 attacks at strength?
What happens if anything causes a panic test on this thing? Anything. Leadership 6 is a guaranteed fail.
Yeah.
Don't put it somewhere that's going to lose.
It's
But
stubborn,
it's got
guys.
movement
But it's got
seven.
leadership 6.
So-
So what the hell
Ooh.
is stubborn going to do?
Alright, so we
That was
got
a close one.
we got for special rules, we have Forest Strider, which means it can go through dreaded forests
Oh, thank
very
God.
easily now.
Good.
And then it's immune to psych. Okay, it's a large target. Okay, it's a giant spider. It's an obstacle strider, which means I can go over buildings. Kind of cool. All right,
I like
that's
that.
all right.
I like
Unpassable is cool. Stubborn, swift stride, terror, wall crawler. That's the one that can go over buildings. Obstacle
Right,
strider.
obstacle
Yeah.
go over, yeah.
Wall crawler can go over buildings.
4+ armor save.
All of its attacks are poisoned on the spider, not the Howdah Crew.
Yep.
Howdah Crew rules, yeah. Natural armor is a 4+ armor save, just a regular armor save, 4+. And then there is Venom Surge.
Venom
which
Surge I like.
Venom Surge is really cool. It's the special attack where one of its 8 attacks are made at multiple wounds d6. So you nominate whichever dice you're going to use, and you get d6 wounds for it, which is really cool. You could kill a character or something with that. That's great.
Or it could miss.
Or it can miss.
But you get all,
Never
you get all
recommend.
that for 290 points.
You get all of that for 290 points base. If you want to upgrade it, there's 2 different upgrades that we have. We have the Flinger upgrade, which is you put a little stone thrower on the back. Which
Strength
is
1.
at strength 1. If it's in the center of the small template,
Strength-
it's strength 3.
Oh, that's too much.
It's strength 3. Multiple wounds D3 though on strength 1. Multiple wounds D3, guys.
No, it's
But-
not strength 3. It's the center.
But now, I actually like
It's
its
just
Oh, it would be the
special
center.
ability the best. I like its special ability the best. Keep reading.
Any unit that gets hit
What?
by the...
Keep reading about the flame.
The Flinger does, any unit hit by a Flinger is always covered in a mass of sticky webs. Gives you always strike last, essentially. And it
Oh,
can't,
that's
the stone thrower can't misfire. If it misfires, it just doesn't shoot. So,
I honestly think that's the.
I think that's worth the 30-point upgrade.
alright, so we spend 310 points to give a unit always
20.
strikes last.
20.
320, I keep saying 310. 320 points so that I could give a unit anywhere I feel like
The possibility of
of
giving
the
me-
possibility of always strikes last.
And we're worrying about a giant monster, but we're really considering its shooting as its great point here.
And that's not good.
Hey, the goblins
Early
have
goblins,
short
the
bows,
goblins
short
have
bows.
bows and they can move and shoot.
No,
So
early game, I think this thing's good for shooting. It's short bows, which is no range
Yeah.
whatsoever, and the
it does
Flinger.
have short bows.
No, I would not send this thing in first 3 turns against anything. Cause
Why? Because if you're
Dude, that's what monsters
this
do,
is the
though.
thing. All right, here's my
But
logic.
you guys are talking about how it's going to be easily crushed by
when you play
stuff.
when it can be easily crushed by anything with high strength, or even middle grade strength. It doesn't matter. Or
toughness.
Yeah.
6 with a low armor save.
And it's got the low armor save, which is tough. And my big thing is when I think of a tournament list and taking this, you're going, okay, well, you wait with it. You don't. Okay, let's say you go to a tournament, you get unlucky, you take your Arachnarok, you play 3 Empire players.
That's good.
Well, that's 310 points. I just threw down that thing's never going to get anywhere. You don't want to wait with it at that point.
All right, so march it up a flank. Go kill some.
But
more machines.
Empire.
Marching up a flank with leadership 6?
Yeah, you can't do it.
You can't
do it.
I've tried to do it before.
I actually do not understand why that thing only has leadership.
I've tried to do it.
Goblins are on it.
Do you remember the game we played a few weeks ago where it actually managed to lose its leadership stubborn against your clan rats and ran for a turn? Like,
So
with
that's
thunderstomps, with 8
works.
attacks. That's the kind of stuff that happens, though.
Because
I will say though, I mean, it's too expensive to lose it to a cannonball.
Yes.
It really is. I think it is. You can do, well, okay, the orcs can't really do better, but there are other monsters out there that cost less and they don't hurt so much when they die
Right.
to those
Right.
cannonballs.
Or don't die.
Right.
and another thing is if you put it on
no
a,
fairness, that thing wasn't getting hit by cannonballs either.
if you took a great shaman and put it on a spider,
Yeah, that's its other thing.
you just gave up 8 attacks in close combat. So you just
Yeah.
took a lot of utility away.
Right, because if you upgrade the other upgrade for the Arachnarok is called Catchweb Spider Shrine, and on the Catchweb Spider Shrine, it becomes a mount for your Goblin Great Shaman, which gives it Lore Master of the Little Wog, which is the weaker of the 2 lores if you had to choose for the most part.
Yeah.
Speaking from the Orc player
A lot of spells
standpoint,
are decent.
it's the cutest of the lores. And
It's the
then,
most adorable.
in addition, he and other. Oh, so within 12 inches of the Arachnarok, all channeling attempts get +2, which is great. So now I'm spending 290 points, plus the points, I think it's around 175 for a level 4, something like that.
Without the
Goblin.
extra, right?
Okay, to just have it stand in the middle of the field. Because I always want that
But-
+2.
You got to spend the points on the other casters too to make that.
Yeah, you got to
actually
spend the
work.
other points, which is okay, because you get each Night Goblin Shaman is 50 points. So you could literally just buy 3
with
Night
the
Goblin
mad
Shaman.
mushrooms.
With the Mad Mushrooms, yeah.
Well, the
Night
thing is, like,
Goblin
how many little log spells are you going to cast, though?
I don't know. The number 6 isn't even that good against everything. So
No,
it's not
yeah.
good against everything, like Foot is. Foot is good against everything. Characteristic
What a
tests aren't
surprise.
good against every art. Shut up.
We can
They have their
compare
problems with
tests.
Foot and guard. But in all seriousness, with the Arachnarok, it's just...
I don't know.
It's so many points. I love its abilities. I actually like what it does. I don't mind the armor 4. I don't mind the 8. I like the fact that it has 8 attacks, 8 wounds.
Mm.
I think that's really cool
I
for
like
the
that.
arm. The spider.
It's like the
thing.
Hydra.
If you ever get it into combat, and this I think is a fair point to make, if you ever get it into combat, and not against white lions, or not against things with great weapons, and like iron guts or whatever, if you get it,
Empire Spearman.
yeah, if you get it into combat with toughness 3, toughness 4, even strength 3, strength 4, it's going to destroy them.
Yes.
It is.
But
That
when you
will.
mentioned, like, Empire Spearman, you're not going to make it to the Empire
I
Spearman.
don't think so.
You're going to
No,
drop
I-
on the ground
That's-
dead.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing. But
Let's hear the math. What do you? Well, let's give Ryan his minute.
it's. I mean, okay. Yes, I'll grant you, it will never see combat.
No, no.
But if it ever did, for whatever reason, if maybe it hid behind buildings and crawled over them and got
Yeah, because it can do that, guys. It can
Yeah,
You get lucky.
crawl over
Get
buildings.
switched right off. I don't know.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I
Whatever.
feel like it should have 8 movement to go along with the 8 wounds and the 8 attacks.
No, man, that's too much spider.
Really? Like, their wolves have movement 9, though. Like, why wouldn't a
Yeah,
giant
I
spider with 8 legs
guess
and
that's
that can
right. I
crawl over
forget.
everything have more
My
movement?
it
wolves
would
is
have a pretty big stride to it, I would
Let's.
think.
I want
Yeah.
the stats. I want your
Toughness
stats.
of
Stats? Okay, alright. So, toughness 3, it's going to kill, on average, about 9 models. Minimum
This is with the crew.
That's
now.
with the crew.
with the crew.
What about-
With the crew and Thunderstomp.
Okay.
So, I mean,
How many ones?
9. It's going to knock off 9 models.
9 on the grand scheme of things doesn't seem like that many wounds to me.
Now, in all
Says the man who
fairness,
plays hordes.
Not well.
I'd rather more
9.
9,
Oh,
okay,
Lord.
so you're picking off
Okay.
9 models. They're not. Strength 3 is not going to
Yes.
even do 1 wound probably
Right.
in around combat. So, I mean, whatever the ranks and bonuses, you probably still won combat, steadfast, whatever, you know. Okay, probably.
But this is the situation my opponent wants. The Arachnarok. They want the Arachnarok up against this stuff.
I don't know what
Strength
else
3,
it's good at.
toughness 3.
I don't know what else it's good at.
Hey, you look at the giant base, too, and it has an entire flank.
I know.
That's
That's
sitting
the other
there.
thing, and
Because
I
it
know
can't break
there were
them.
some arguments about, I guess, what was said in the Hell Pit video about the base size, and this has the large, very large base size. It's about, I'd say, Yeah, I guess we'll go get the hell pit to show you. It's like the size. It's not really 2 hell pits. It's like a hell pit and a half.
It's like a hell pit and a half.
The size of 2 chariots.
It's basically the size of 2 chariot bases. Yeah. So it's a little bigger.
Oh my god!
And
it's
when
a
we're
lot
talking,
bigger. Look at the screen. Holy, you can really tell.
yeah. So
that's a
when
lot
we're
bigger.
talking the base size like that, we're talking sheer. Well, I mean cannons. It literally makes something that's idiot proof even more idiot proof. This is how much room you can bounce 3 times in this string.
Yeah, let's.
If you do this if you do this not only on a diagonal, a lot of them it's on a diagonal. If you do this front to back, you can bounce 3 times in one spider.
Let's see. It's a 6-inch long base, so I could say, all right, the end of it is 10 inches. All right, just don't roll a 1 or a 2 for the extra range, and it automatically hits it.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably bounce and kill it.
Yeah. So I mean, I've
Oh
seen
my.
against Rich, this thing has literally died on turn 1 every time I play. It has
Every
died. It is
Okay.
It has
Okay.
died on turn 1.
I guarantee you, anything being shot at by a cannon,
It's just
hit
gonna
by
die
a cannon,
anyway.
is
It's just
gonna
gonna
die.
die anyway.
You just don't want to lose the 300 whatever.
Right. You don't
points.
want to use the 300 points for it.
And there's a
So
lot of
that's
other
why
people
you would
out there
never.
who do that.
That's why anybody like for unless you're playing fun
Scatter,
games.
too. on a.
Yeah, like if you have a stone thrower. Even if you like put it in the center and you roll like a
Yeah,
decent scatter, it's still.
If you roll
Yeah.
a 4 scatter on this, I would venture to say that it was still center over. Right?
It would probably do. Yeah.
Deal with
Yeah,
nasty
it goes to the
stuff.
corners.
Oh, so you just don't put it on the center. You just put it. I don't know.
No, if you put it on the center, it still scatters forward to the corner.
Yeah.
Like, you could still get it technically on the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah. Anything except straight to the side, probably you'd get.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of points
I-
to throw in the middle of the field. I mean, I really like what it does. I think it's awesome. I think the model's awesome. The reason I didn't finish putting it together, as you see, there's no how to crew on it.
Because I never feel it.
I don't field it because it's just gonna most of the time it's just gonna die. I fielded it against Nick the other day and it didn't. Well, that was my fault, but that's not the point.
No.
But and then well, the argument with the bigger base size is if you're playing with larger blocks of stuff, we're talking on a 25mm base here against this unit against an Arachnarok, we're talking 4 more guys, and if that's in a horror formation, we're talking 4, 8, 12 more support attacks.
Not counting if
Against-
that you
that's on
have
a-
more than one attack.
That's on a 25mm base. On a 20mm base, we're talking 6, 12, 18 supports. Plus support plus 4.
Right.
Versus
Well,
here, where you're losing all those attacks. So that's why we talk about base size. It doesn't matter whether, you know...
To address that person's comment, though, the Hell Pit
Has a
ability
direct
that
contact.
actually directly affects the guys that it's touching.
But just to clarify, most of the time with monsters, bigger is worse. I think most
It
people
is.
are going to
I
agree
agree.
bigger is worse. Because unless you... on the
Worse
turn,
for who?
Worse for the monster.
itself.
Yeah.
Worse for the person with
You
the
wouldn't
monster.
You're taking a large target that costs so many points, and you're making it very vulnerable.
Yeah.
The-
You want to minimize
Yeah.
incoming attacks.
Because no matter what, most of the time with your monster, you're going to want to charge, like let's say you have a horde block charging with your monster. Your monster's just going to be out and just touching on the corner. And then your horde block's going to be what's up against their block. So, you know, then the base size doesn't matter. It actually gives them less surface area to charge you on another side. So in the end, smaller is always better. So this is another huge deficiency. I like what it does. Can everybody, like, what,
Oh,
does
yeah, I
anybody
love
think it needs anything else?
Well, the problem is, like, if you specialize it to be something else, you're spending points for, like, part of a shooting phase or part of a magic phase.
Yes.
But this is a monster. I don't care. I want it
Yes.
to kill things.
Yes.
How with does anyone know off the top of the head the Stegodon? Does it come with missile weapons? Or do you have to
It comes
pay for
with
It
it
comes
comes
with
with a
missile
giant bow if it's a regular Stegodon.
And if it's an
Ancient
ancient
Steg-
Stegodon,
It's-
it comes with it. It's not an
Two,
upgrade.
it's 2 giant blue
Yeah,
bugs.
it comes with it.
Which is
So
pretty good.
why,
a gentle and it's 12-inch range.
Why not just make it so it
Shoot it off,
has
It's
the
gonna
flinger?
die.
Wouldn't it
Why
be
not
fun?
just make it so it has the flinger?
Yeah.
I don't know why the
I feel
flinger's
like
an upgrade.
I feel like they should
That's
put spear chuckers
situational
instead of
too.
short bows. Like just give them a couple spear chuckers on there.
That would be
Well,
awesome. Like,
it's-
spear chuckers. I would love it.
It's I understand where you're coming from with what's it's situational.
Yeah.
But I think in an army where everything is at least most of the stuff that's gonna hit is initiative 2. So I mean, for most armies it's like it's whatever. I'm sitting, you know, most of the time we're going at the same time. I'm never going at the same time as anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Arachnarok Spider.
It will go first.
So-
It's poison attacks.
Yeah. If I fought another Arachnarok, I'd go in initiative order at the same time. So I don't really know what Nick's looking for in the corner.
Lizardman book.
Oh, he's looking for.
I
Lizardman.
have it on my phone.
I made
How
a
many
list.
points is the Stegodon?
Oh, it's really expensive. It's like two. Let me find
It's
it.
pretty expensive.
230.
It's
It's
each
definitely too
Stegodon-
expensive. That's a different
Fine.
video for a different day.
Not that we planned on talking about the Stegodon,
No.
but just
So can we all agree? What do we do to fix it? What do we do
Cost.
to fix the Arachnarok? Do we just bring it down
It
cost?
has to be brought down cost. The
Nah.
abilities are good. Yeah.
I like its abilities. The 4+ armor kind of bugs me a little bit, but it has the 8 wounds to balance it out.
I ran the math, and
Okay.
its defense. I mean, its survivability
235.
is definitely less than
And
most monsters you'll see.
Okay.
but at the same time, it's got 8 wounds.
Yeah.
So even though it's taking more wounds, I mean, relatively, it's still taking a good 10, 20 attacks to deal a wound at lower strength easily.
But the thing is, in combat, I'd really much rather have taking the less wounds because I'm worried about leadership 6. So if I lose by 1, I'm dead.
So does it?
I don't think it'll lose in a combat where it's being hit by lots of weak attacks.
But I mean, you
But then you're getting the scenario your opponent wants, right?
where it's locked up in combat.
Where it's locked up in combat
I don't
with
like,
nothing in
I don't like any monster against high strength. Why would I want to throw a monster
Well,
against?
you don't, but
The thing is, like, say you threw it against those spearmen like you mentioned, I'd be like, oh, cool, spider. Let's see, my horde of spearmen barely cost any points, and I can tie up basically all of his rare. And whatever, just some core, I don't really care.
Yeah, in
Whatever,
a 1500 point battle, this thing will take up like
this thing is gonna get
85% of your core of
This-
your rare.
yeah. This thing is gonna.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would
guess
never
you're
bring
right.
it
It's
out
all
of
your
the
rare.
points
It's
cost.
all your rare.
But say it runs into a horde, a bunch of spearmen, not a horde. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah,
I
at
don't
the
even
point-
think the horde would matter because
No, I would just drop in the steadfast formation at that point and just let it sit there the whole game.
It has pretty good mobility. We can agree
Yeah.
on that,
Oh,
right? I
absolutely.
don't mind its mobility at all.
if it was smaller, you could use it in conjunction with something
Yeah.
else.
Well, I like the model size. I can't imagine it being smaller. I don't know what they do to this thing to make it like just shrink it. It wouldn't be
Yeah, that's
quite a giant spider. So maybe that's the size of the base reason. But playability.
I do like the mobility. I mean, you could have it sweep in and contribute, massively to a combat if it ever got there.
Yep.
And definitely turn the tide.
Mhm.
It's certainly got the offensive capability to kill
Right.
enough of anything.
Right.
Defensively, yeah, okay, it's going to be taking wounds, but it's got a lot of wounds. And if it's in a massive combat, then maybe it's not so relevant that it's losing them, right?
Is it safe to say we could actually bring the cost down and give it more armor?
I don't think
it
so. I
needs
think the
more
wounds
armor.
make up for the lack of armor.
Yeah, I agree.
But if we brought the cost down and made it 3, is that outlandish? Is that Hell Pit? Are we reaching Hell Pit status if we bring it down?
No, nothing.
The standard for not monsters is Hell Pit in most of our eyes. This
I think
is
we
what
should
a
just
monster
forget
should
about
not
Hell
be.
Pit because that's the lost cause.
I understand.
Well,
that.
okay.
I'm just saying that when we reach
Sphinx or something might be.
when we reach solid
They're a good
stable,
creature.
bring it every game.
Do you want to hear the Stegodon?
Yeah, let's just say
It's 235 points, movement 6, weapon skill 3, strength 5, toughness 6, 5 wounds, initiative 2, 4 attacks, leadership 6.
Okay.
I mean, it's got cold-blooded, which helps with its leadership 6, but it's also stubborn at leadership 6. Causes terror. The spider causes terror, right?
No.
It doesn't?
Fear.
What?
No, terror.
No,
Just
monsters
terror.
always cause terror.
Now, does that thing do impact hits?
No.
Wow, okay.
Yes, it
So
does.
Stegodon does. It has poison, immune to psych, 4+ scaly skin.
I'm pretty sure the poison
Out of
is on the
weapons.
Stink Crew,
Right. I mean, I don't know.
which is only 5, by the way. No.
And another thing you're reading from this moment, this is special. This is rare.
Oh, that is true.
And that book is really old compared to the new-ish orcs.
I love the model.
Oh, I love the model.
I love the model.
Amazing. It
I don't want to
to
finish putting it together. I
So
just
it's
don't.
2.5 years older than the orcs.
I don't know if there are any Orcset players out there who have put this thing on, have put a Ketchup Spider Shard on it. I think that model is awesome.
No, it's beautiful.
I
Oh, it looks
can
awesome.
never decide a moment where I want to go, here's a 400-point monster.
For
and
my
little caster.
lord slash
And my
possibility.
lord. Yeah, and my lord. Because at that point, it's your lord.
Cannonball, 500
Yeah.
point dead.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, if
What's
you're
up?
having a lord on there,
Well, I guess a cannonball
The
can't kill
ancient
it
steg is
once,
closer in price. It's 275.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
and that's rare as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I would do
you're,
any-
you're actually right, Kyle. A cannonball couldn't kill a spider in one shot.
Nope.
On
That's
average, it would
huge.
take-
That's a huge thing.
But the thing is, if we're talking about Empire,
And-
Empire's going to have 2 cannons.
But
you know.
on average, 2 cannons might not take it out either.
No,
That's true.
yeah, you're absolutely right.
If you roll
Yeah,
a
it's true.
3 and a 4, which is average on 2 dice, it's 7 wounds.
The thing is,
Still alive.
I have guns, and they are armor piercing. You have a 6 save. Cool, you have toughness
I
6,
think-
but I have a
Yeah,
lot
if he
of
has
shots.
Pistoliers, he has 10 shots on 1 unit of 5 Pistoliers. What are they, strength 4?
Yeah, they're strength 4.
So
So
you just
I
get-
literally
you
just
just-
sit them right next to you and go bang, 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 and you die.
I'm gonna say to fix it, give it a better armor save. And I would
Really?
say 2+.
Keep it at the same price.
It makes it still
I would
vulnerable.
say-
And
to
upgrade the
cannons.
Flinger.
I would
Yeah,
say
I would say Flinger and armor for 290.
Oh, Flinger and armor for 290. I like
Yeah,
that.
I think that's
3
fair.
plus,
Flinger
3
down.
plus armor and Flinger for 290.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Say
that's
you
fair.
make it that.
Okay.
Would you ever take it to a battle, even with that?
Yeah. I
No.
would.
No!
No!
You wouldn't! You wouldn't!
Because
That's
the things-
still a waste.
the
It's
things
still
that
gonna die
kill
to
this-
What about,
Yeah, but at
what
least
about
I'm...
things that don't have cannons? What armies could this be good against?
Come on.
Anything
I'm
without
not
a
even
cannon.
worrying about cannons. We were also mentioning any kind of template weapons, like a stone thrower.
A stone
a
thrower
direct
does
hit,
it.
strength
Yeah.
9, d6 wounds.
We'll,
just as
we'll
good.
It's a-
mess this thing
It
up.
is a magic magnet.
Is that the thing with every monster though? It'll mess
Agreed.
it up.
Agreed. Yeah.
So this thing
definitely.
actually has 8 wounds, which means
Which
Yeah.
puts us advantage over it.
yeah, what monster has 8 wounds?
Not really many. Most have 6.
So 6 and most 5 or 6, yeah.
It is
Even
a,
like a dragon, it's just
Yeah.
like 6. Nothing crazy.
I guess dragons are always mounts, right?
Yeah, you can have a field
Yeah.
solo.
it is a magic magnet too.
That's
Any
true.
magic you have, it's going right at this thing.
Yeah, I don't think the problem is how much damage it can do once it gets to combat.
It just has to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also thinking, like, oh man, like, nothing else has this where I can just jump over whatever. But, like, wait, most things have fly. Never mind.
Yeah, but then
Yeah, right.
but then there's most things do have fly, and then there's the moment where it's like, okay, let's say I roll Hand of Gork on the orc spells, and then I move it, right? So now I'm 6 dicing a spell to make a 3/10 unit worth it. And on average, if you're getting
That's pretty amazing,
8
though.
dice a turn.
That's some awesome synergy.
Right, but on average, you get an 8 dice a turn. It's like, I'm going to spend a unit to get a turn to get this thing into combat. Next turn, hopefully,
Yeah,
with
but-
something else.
But no, let's
What
think
if
of
I
it this way. You
now
were
you're
just
throwing
mentioning
a magic phase and a monster away.
Yeah, but you were just mentioning you can't combo this thing. If you throw that behind, if you move that up 14 inches and throw it behind
I've
your
done
enemy, you just don't have to worry about comboing it because you're standing behind them.
I've done it. I think Nick crapped his pants when he saw it happen. But
Yeah,
That's good utility right there.
It's
What if
scary.
you gave it Vanguard?
you can't.
I'm saying as a change.
No,
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 that's
no.
ridiculous. That
I
be
would never
ridiculous.
like to go first. I'd be like, okay, I
What,
discharge.
What about would it be weird to have a spider with regen?
Yeah.
Oh, not
6
8
plus,
wounds. 8
6
wounds.
plus, 6 plus, 6 plus regen. I love 6 plus regen.
I
Six-
don't know.
But 8 wounds though, it's so scary. That is ridiculously scary.
Just give it a 6 plus regen.
Not a low regen though. I mean, you won't see that often.
Still scary. I shoot a cannon at it. Oh, I just regen everything.
Well, see, no, that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. You shoot a cannon, it's a 1 in 6 chance. If it fails, you're still doing.
We'll see something later in another video of 1/6 chance, and then 1/6 chance happening again to be something absolutely stupid. So it's
Okay,
definitely
yes,
possible.
all right. Yes, it can be stupid, but it doesn't change the fact that the math is terrible. Who cares what it happens every once in a great while? The math is still terrible. You know?
Yeah.
I guess.
I would never trust a 6
still-
plus regen to save my ass.
No, I would never trust it. It's just I can definitely still see it in a reasonable chance to mess up my night.
Sure, but then again, it's a waste of points right now.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm just saying if that was built into it, like a 6 plus regen, like no additional points. All right. I mean, that's
Nick,
really cool.
would you take it at 290 with the flinger and a 3 plus?
Yeah.
What do you want to do to the flinger?
I would
though?
take it.
Yeah, I would take it.
I would take it.
3+ armor save and a flinger?
What do you want to do to the flinger? Make it an actual stone thrower?
No, leave it the way it is.
Can I get strength 2?
Strength 2,
Strength 2,
6.
strength
I don't
4
think
in the
that's
center?
right, though, because
I
you'd
kinda-
still be wounding on.
I mean,
I kinda wanna say
I know it's
strength
kind of
one
just
across
like
the
a
board.
web. It's just like
On the
ball
spider's
of
8
silk.
attacks too?
Yeah.
You
No,
know, I
I
guess-
it's just strength 3 across the board on the flinger. On the
because
flinger.
technically it's just a
know
web, so it would be a
increase.
ball of silk, right?
Why-
so
why
I'm
couldn't
throwing
you cover?
cotton.
Why
You
couldn't
really
throw-
are.
I'm throwing cotton at people.
Why
If-
so
okay, if you really want to be technical, it's not really throwing it. It's more
It's
Flinging?
Leaving it and throwing it.
flinging it. We can call it that.
flinging it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fling
yeah. Yeah, it's got extra legs back there.
Yeah. No, it's got a catapult though.
No,
It actually physically has a
physically
catapult.
Oh, really? It's
Six
actually
hits a
physically
catapult
gets a
time, it
catapult.
goes down,
You shift it
it
out and then put it
collects,
on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it goes like that.
This is a very obedient spider.
Well, it's got leadership 6, so you know it's.
I don't know,
Those
it's got-
goblins are in complete control.
It's got 3 pages of fluff, so like I'd ever read it because I don't use it. But
It's actually pretty interesting fluff. You should read
yeah,
it
it's great
sometime.
fluff. I love the fluff when I can't actually use the unit.
The fluff.
Fluff is fun.
Well, if Shelob
Does-
can take down Frodo, this thing should be able to do something.
I mean, they
Does
made
the
this
giant
because this is
spider have
Shelob,
anything?
and this ain't no Shelob.
Does the giant spider have anything that might be cool? That like it's different from the?
No, the giant spider is the same thing. It's just a mount.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know if it had anything like different.
No.
All right.
All right.
Giant
I think-
I,
spider,
I
movement
still
7.
stand by
That's casual.
just price, even without changes. I mean,
No.
it needs
No.
changes.
Yes.
It needs changes, but you know what? I don't think it's ridiculous. I don't.
I think it's ridiculous.
You're comparing it to something that I already think is underpriced, which is the Hell Pit.
No, I'm comparing it to,
I'll
I'm comparing it to other stuff.
other
I'm
monsters
comparing
you
it in my
compare it
head to
Like
all
we
of the
mentioned
Warriors
the
of Chaos
Stegodon. I'm
monsters.
thinking,
Stegodon?
I think
Yeah.
the Stegodon is overpriced as well, to be honest. But
I think it's but I know.
and I'm also thinking like even like the
Come
War
on.
Sphinx.
Think of the Chimera.
Toughness
It's got
8.
a 4+4+. Flying, breath weapon.
Poison
for,
attack,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
275.
With all those upgrades.
Yeah, with all those upgrades.
I used it the other
And
day.
that thing is vile.
Ridiculous. They didn't
Vile.
actually use the breath weapon. Still ridiculous.
Still ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely.
I crushed so many things.
I don't think I'm ever
That's
gonna.
great.
I don't think I'm ever gonna touch this thing with a 10-foot pole if it's not.
Maybe not.
If it's not 30 points cheaper, comes with a flinger with strength 2, strength 4 in the center, 3+ armor save, 6+ regen, and an extra leg.
Do orcs have anything?
Like-
Do orcs have anything like to take out
I
war
would say
machines
you're a
quickly?
little
They don't have any
extreme there.
scouts, right?
No.
They don't have any scouts. They don't have like any
No.
reliable
Okay,
long
they have
range.
spear chuckers at 35 points.
Yeah,
You can
spear
take a
chuckers are
lot of
For
them.
voice, well,
They
you
can
can
take
only
6.
take a certain amount. That you're
6.
restricted. Yeah.
6, but you need line of sight. So
You
that's,
need line of sight, and they're like ballistical 3, and
Okay,
they
the
can
things
collapse
you're
on themselves and die.
And
Okay,
they
the
can
things
just-
you're shooting at that you're worrying about, they're pretty big, and you're not going to worry about not being able to see them.
That's true.
Oh,
So-
if you're shooting at a cannon, like
No, then you're wasting
What-
your time. You should be doing something else.
Yeah,
then.
I
You
know.
should
what does
have
this
fast
have to do
help.
with an Arachnarok?
The problem with the shooting.
I'm trying to see how you with this armor you would counteract what counters a spider.
You don't.
Yeah,
You just
like-
play your game.
You have fast help, and then you hope you can make a break in the
Yes.
lines. That's really about it.
You have fast
the,
cab and a
the
big
five
game, but there's
goblin
no line.
wolf riders are going to make a break in the line of spearmen.
You can't.
They don't look
can't.
good.
You just can't.
I'm still all about hiding it behind buildings.
Yeah, so it never sees combat. I want a 290 point hide and seek.
Now I have a strength 1 stone thrower behind the building.
It just,
That always
you,
counted.
you should have peek and shoot. You just
Yeah, right.
go back in.
That'd be a clear sight.
How do you feel about the fact that you can get 2 skull cannons for the price of 1 spider?
Shut up. Just shut up.
You
That's
can, you can almost
less
get
than.
2 hydras for the price of
you
one.
could almost
Oh my
get 2
goodness, Hydras are
hydras.
so much. If 2 Hydras ran into combat, and
You
one of
can get 2 hydras for the price of it with a flinger, right? 320?
these,
No, I mean they're
170.
expensive. They're
175.
expensive.
20 more points.
Woo!
Because the thing is, like, say somehow they charge into each other, 2 Hydras and one of those. Without a doubt in my mind, the 2 Hydras
Oh, absolutely.
would mop it up without even trying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they would probably kill it before even the regular attacks even gone, because that's 14 attacks.
Stop talking. It's gonna
At
cut.
strength 5.
I think that's enough from us today on the Arachnarok. We'd love to hear your thoughts, concerns, comments. How many more legs you think Spider should have? Whatever.
1 growing out its head.
1 growing out of its head. I like
It's a
that.
+1 movement.
Plus 1 move.
Plus
Plus 1
No,
move.
no,
more
no.
climbing.
You should have the ability to equip it with great weapons in some of its legs.
Oh, dude, that's a good
There
idea.
you
We'd
go.
have to give it opposable thumbs, though, wouldn't we?
No, you just
Oh,
glue
you
them
tie
up.
it. You tie it. Like
It's like the ogres with like the
All right.
fists.
plate arms.
So I think that's enough.
So it kind of be like hooves in a sense, but it would have like axes.
There you
on
That's
the
the
go.
bottom.
most useless.
Giant crushers.
Giant crush.
They could be like balls,
Big
like
stabbers.
giant maces, like balls.
Well, we always worried about how they use giant stabbers.
Yeah, they could. The
Big
Savage
stabbers.
Rock
Put the big
upgrade.
stabbers on the
The big
spider.
stabber. You can put it on the
Spider. Put it on Hodour, or they are on the legs or something. I don't
This
know.
is
you go.
this was supposed to be the closing comment.
Alright, so
Alright.
for real this time, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comments below. Thanks, guys.
Later. Okay, now.
Alright.
Um,
Time for me to go.
I